darkest, deepest depths of Joey Drew Studios, Henry was able to defeat Beast Bendy and possibly free everyone until it seems like everything reset. Meaning, possibly Henry is doomed to an eternal loop of agony and pain through the studio over and over again, subjected to torment and misery, having to relive the same deaths and losses every single time, and get a constant reminder of all who are lost to the horrid things by the hands of Joey Drew. But that's not just it. Because not only was that going on, but something else is happening within the studio. It seems like it's not over. Hey everyone, it's the Butterminecart and welcome to another video. Today, we are going to be reacting to Game Theory, Bendy 2, The Return to the Ink Machine. It ain't over, everybody, because if you've been keeping up with Tiny Beast's whole thing, also previously known as the Meatly, they had just earlier this year, I believe, they had released the ending to the original Bendy and Ink Machine. Not only that, but I think they released the new game that they did. I don't know if they did or not. If they have released the other game they were working on. But yeah. But we all thought we were done. We all thought we were done with everything within Joey Drew Studios. We thought it was all behind us. Bendy, Allison, the evil Alice, who may just be Susie Campbell. All those Borises, Sammy Lawrence, everything. We thought we were done. But nope, we're back. Bendy and the Dark Revival is coming out, has its first chapter coming out this year, sometime later. And with a new Bendy game, well, with a new game in general, that's as deep within mystery as Bendy's, which is basically on the same level as stuff like FNAF and Hello Neighbor. Means a lot more theories to be done. It seems MatPat has an idea of what's going on within the studio this time. And that's what we're here to listen to today. So without further ado, let's begin. The Ink Machine returns.
Bendy and the Dark Revival, huh? Sounds interesting. Oh, that hurt!
You okay, Matt?
It's times like this that I wish I had an attack plunger.
What? Oh, I get that.
You're supposed to
Joke.
throw it at my hand! It's a bigger target. Oh, I will show you a bigger target.
I can't tell if that intro was like improv or it was actually scripted, because that was amazing. I'll show you a bigger target. Oh, it's been a while since I heard this intro.
Hello, Internet!
Welcome to Game Theory.
Okay, so I have a confession to make. I've underestimated the Bendy series. I honestly think most of us have. So, what do I mean by that? Well, from a storytelling standpoint, these games are a lot more sophisticated than you might first believe. Take, for instance, my last episode of
Indeed.
the game, where we covered the design detail of characters who melt away being creatures who are made entirely of ink versus those whose bodies persist after being killed. Those are the ones that are infused with real human souls.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an extremely subtle detail in the game design.
They melt, they
At
have no soul.
point does the game actually
Indeed.
spell it out for you, but it's essential for understanding basically the entire plot of this game.
Mhm.
Everything from how the ink machine works to the meaning of the ending. But for another great example, let's look at Sammy Lawrence, everyone's favorite music director slash cultist slash part-time hot topic social media manager. He has this dramatic death at the end of chapter 2, but when he reappears at the top of chapter 5, all of us were like, oh, what happened?
That is true, because spoilers if you haven't played the game. I probably should have put a spoiler warning at the beginning of it. But Sammy does die in chapter 2, but then suddenly he immediately comes back in chapter 5. Twice even. First for like part of the main thing, and then a bit of a secret that leads on to which I believe it leads on to a bit of an Easter egg sort of thing that leads on to both a promotion for like a bit of a reference to the Tiny Beasts other game and a bit of a secret that happens in chapter 1.
Cue the montage.
Oh, okay. No, why? Are you kidding me? Sammy Lawrence?
Wait, really?
It's Sammy.
It's
I
Sammy
thought
Lawrence.
he died. Oh, do I have to finally fight you?
So
So I have to
that's
finally
not
fight
Sammy.
you.
Sammy died
Exactly.
in chapter 2, right? Gamers across YouTube were shooketh by this revelation, but if we were really
Sure.
paying attention, and I mean really paying attention,
To be honest, that is true because like no other character has just suddenly disappeared just to reappear once again so suddenly.
to the details, we would have known that Sammy had actually been reborn one other time between those two chapters. Across Bendy's 5 chapters, there's actually only 2 sorts of candle assets that are used. One, that are candles inside of cans of bacon soup, and the other ones are tall, white candles. Now, the bacon soup candles are used practically everywhere, but these
Literally
white
everywhere.
ones only tend to be used in places that are associated with music. Remember, Sammy Lawrence is the music director, or places where Sammy physically is. In chapter 2, for
Oh.
instance, they're around all the little prayer altars and sacrificial bowls that Sammy has set up for the ink team.
I never
Again, in
realized
chapter
that.
5, there were Sammy and the Lost Ones have set up their little memorial wall, but they're concentrated in one other random place throughout the game, specifically chapter 4's caves. At the top of chapter 4, there's an ink pool that we have to unlock.
Oh my god, I
Spawning swollen searcher. You are
this is the sort of thing you do when you really dig into the meaning behind video games. You start to realize things you would have never knew if you were just playing the game normally, which is what I love about this stuff that Matt, Pat, and all the other crew, Theorist crew do. I'm not just talking about the fans. I'm talking about the people who work behind the scenes to help make these videos and whatnot.
supposed to rip off his little ink wart on his shoulder, and then we move on. We use it to create a
Thought that
gear,
was a hat.
fix the little hangy dangly bits, and you move on to the game. It's a very simple puzzle. The pieces are right next to each other. It's not that complicated.
Indeed.
But if we look closer at that moment, we'll actually notice more of Sammy's ritual candles set up around that.
And so he was most likely
with
reborn
Sammy's
there.
iconic mask hidden on the ground just behind it.
Oh my God.
Sammy is here too, trying to summon something. The ink demon? We can't really know for sure. Maybe he was successful, which is why his mask is the only thing left there. Now, I didn't find this out myself. It was actually put together by Tumblr user Dreamfisher, who, along with another Tumblr user Adobe Outdesign, are the two most prolific Bendy theorists on the internet, as far as I know, at least. Their work has gotten me to start
I should probably
taking a
check those
closer look
guys
at this
out.
game again, which is perfect, since there's actually a new game coming out later this year. More on that in a minute, but first, I wanted to talk a little bit about game design. It's interesting. actually. As I've gone back through this game,
Very true.
I've really questioned why I missed some of these details the first time through. And the reason is that the game design has a lot of noise. And I don't mean noise like, wow, I'm at a party and it's so loud and I need to shout in order for anyone to hear anything that I'm saying. I mean that there's just a lot of details in this world that feel extraneous, whether or not
That's
they
true.
actually are. Let's take a look at
They
it from
throw a
a
lot
numbers
at you.
perspective. Noisy data is basically a set of numbers with a large amount of additional meaningless information mixed in. So, hit me with the numbers. Perfect. So like here, right? You look at these data points, and you can tell pretty quickly just by looking at it that it's supposed to be in the shape of a line. Right? This is what's known as clean data. But now, if you open this up here, I haven't used one of these since like science fair in high school. But now, if you look at this data, it's a lot less clear what this shape is meant to be. What's important in this data set? What isn't? Is there supposed to be a shape to define these data points at all? Probably not, quite honestly. All of this data is very noisy. Wow, the world of statistics is so exciting! So now let's translate
That's very
to something
fuzzy.
that is legitimately exciting. Video games. And
My
compare it
turn.
to everyone's favorite franchise on this channel, Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah!
It invades even episodes that aren't about it. But there's a good reason in this case. Five Nights at Freddy's is actually a great example of this concept. FNAF
Very true.
isn't a noisy game series. The first game is so stripped down, in fact, that the
That is so true, because, like, they have you focus. They make you focus full on the main objective. Dealing with the animatronics. There's no other distractions or anything like that. The only distractions that you have are ones that are made by the animatronics themselves.
meaningful data points just stand out right for you. Golden Freddy, phone
And
guy
that
calls,
too.
weird newspapers on the wall. That's it. That's all you really need to solve the plot of this thing. In FNAF 2, yeah, there's a lot more going on. More rooms, more animatronics, more gameplay. But stuff like the mandatory death minigames force the meaningful data points directly into your face.
Yeah, they literally put it right there for you to see. Literally no hiding it. Just, hey, here, take it all. Take it.
You know that they're important even if you don't quite understand what they mean.
And they
It's up
want
to
you
figure
to
out the line that
think
connects
that.
those pieces. But in general, you know what data points you're working with. So now let's translate it over to Bendy. Now, I love Bendy as a game. I love its aesthetics. I love its characters. But it's a noisy game world.
It's
From a
true, there's
design
so much they
standpoint
try.
alone, the walls are covered in lots of different messages. The messages themselves repeat multiple times across the 5 different chapters. They all tend to have the same handwriting, so it's unclear whether they're supposed to be tracked to different writers or the same writer. There's mysterious footprints all over the floors, doors open and shut seemingly at random, and there's just a lot of stuff everywhere. It's a
So
messy,
much stuff.
ruined world, and that's okay. That's part of the atmosphere, but it just makes it unclear what's intentional world building and what's just there to fill out the space. As a result,
Yeah,
when I was
well-
crafting theories on Bendy, I tried to stay away from a lot of that.
Like the Tommy gun. In Secret in Chapter 3. Like that. That literally has nothing to do with anything. Like, it has no relevance to the story at all. It only appears in Chapter 3. There's no relevance of anything. Just a bit of a thing to make things easier for you. In the projectionist area and stuff like that. And then there's the bacon soup gun, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff. Those are important.
Messy data. I just focus on the
That's-
things that are
that's
clearly important in
Sorry, that was a friend.
clearly important in any game that you play, quite honestly. The audio logs, character designs, dialogue, and things like the ending or end chapter images. But even those, a lot of times in Bendy, would get changed when a new chapter released or when
Very
new
true.
updates would come out. And it does seem like as the game's gone on, more and more of it has gotten intentional, which is always a good thing. Anyway, the reason I bring all this up is because this game needs more theorists working on it. There's still a lot to unpack here.
And
There's
still a lot of
stuff
questions to be
consider,
answered.
which is especially important because there's going to be a new game, Bendy, and
The Dark Revival.
Already, there has been a lot of talk about this game playing into this new idea of choice based on this one line in the teaser.
But one thing always remains: the choices you make.
And aside from that one line, that's really all we have to go off.
Yeah, it's kind of like the whole Dying Light situation. Like, because, like, you know, the original Dying Light was just a standard game. You go through and do side quests and whatnot. And all in the end, everything is basically the same. But then Dying Light 2 was announced. Everybody was excited for it, and they revealed that it would be based around sometime after the whole incident in Haran went on, and that throughout the game, the different things you do within it would impact the future of the world around you and whatnot.
You could say that what's really going on here is Bendy and the shots in the dark. Terrible joke. Anyway,
Oh, God.
All that being said, I actually think that we've been given more clues about this new game than we realize. So what is this new game about, and what is actually being revived here? That, my friends, is the question for today.
Indeed.
First, it's important to note that according to one of the game's creators, Mike Mood on Twitter, Bendy and the Dark Revival is... It's important to note that according to one of the game's creators, Mike Mood on Twitter, Bendy and the Dark Revival is not a sequel.
So it's not a sequel. And it's not a... Just a second. I have my screen turned off the recording, but...
It's the tweet right there. Look at
But it's not a prequel either. So what is it?
Internet, I know that I put Bendy
An alternate universe?
video, but guess what? Sometimes you gotta introduce people to a new game based on, traditional titling conventions. I'm trying to prevent another Kingdom Hearts here, friends. Ourselves Bendy's ink drop distance, okay? But Mike, in that same tweet, also makes it very clear that this new game isn't a prequel either. So if it's not a sequel, and it's not a prequel, well, that only leaves us with two other possibilities. Either it's an alternate universe,
Exactly.
using the same characters in a new way, or it's a side story. And based on the that we have leading up to this new game's reveal,
that wouldn't make sense. Because in the ending, we hear a girl asking Joey Drew to tell her their story and call him Uncle Drew. So he may be telling a story of one thing that's going on. Because, and again, we know that Bendy was actually really successful back in the day before the popularity for it started going down. I mean, they have a whole factory for toys and whatnot. I mean, it had to be a really big show before it just started to die down. So it would make sense that most likely there were multiple studios around, multiple locations that were running and making cartoons at the same time. Kind of like FNAF with its locations. Except the thing is, with FNAF, their locations were going on. Some were opened up after another went down. Some were open at the same time. But with in the case of Bendy, it may be that their different company locations all went down at once, maybe. And so all of this madness happened at the same time, but in two separate ways.
I actually think it's going to be a bit of both. Let me explain here. As we all know at this point, once you beat Bendy the first time through, you get yourself a chance to play through the game again, only this time you're using your lens of truth to see all the secret messages that are sprinkled across the walls and floors of Joey Drew Studios.
It's literally the same thing. You just have that, and you can see all the messages you missed.
Across the entire game, not just in the last chapter. And from the opening hallway, already things start getting weird. It becomes immediately clear that you're stuck in some sort of loop, as evidenced by the tally marks that you see along the right-hand wall. Add up those tally marks, though, and you get yourself 414. So apparently, we've already gone through Joey Drew Studios 414 times. It seems like it's an arbitrary number, right? No. It's not. The teaser for the new game was officially uploaded onto the Joey Drew Studios YouTube channel
on the 14th of the 4th month. That's clever.
14. That's not all. In the lead up to this big reveal of the new game, that same channel's been uploading audio logs from various moments throughout the studio's
Indeed.
history. From
And one, as you can see there, under Wally Franks, one is unknown.
those logs, you can actually construct a timeline of events. Bendy's premiere back in 1929, the studio growing in 1931, Alice Angel's premiere in 1932, the first appearance of the Butcher Gang in 1935, Troubles with Bendyland in 1940, and the Ink Machine going in and really taking over the studio in 1943. But then there's this one final audio recording, one that combines all the audio of everything that came before, but then introduces us to a whole new voice.
The unknown one. Ooh.
Very interesting.
I remember that.
Such knowledge.
The listed date of that recording, April
14th.
questionable year, 414 again. So very clearly, the game's developers are setting up a connection between the time loop that Henry finds himself trapped in and this new character who's researching the ink machine and the people
who may possibly have something to do with it, maybe.
connected to it to uncover the secrets behind the studio. This also isn't the first time that we're hearing about whoever this mysterious observer is. Before Chapter 5 was released, a series of 3 audio recordings were uploaded onto that channel.
I remember
Each
that
one
too.
labeled question mark, question mark, question mark.
And what it seemed to be was like Henry talk, like, I can't remember all of them, but I remember at least one or two of them having to do with Henry talking something about it and how he can't leave the studio or something like that.
Remember, at this point in the story, Henry has just met Perfect Alice and Angel inside Boris and was being held their prisoner, which is where Chapter 5 begins. These audio recordings were made by Henry during that imprisonment phase.
If anyone finds this, my name
Who's Henry? Joey Drew Studios.
And while most of what he says across the other clips isn't particularly interesting, no offense, Henry, I know you had nothing better to do. You were stuck in an underground prison in an imaginary ink world, maybe. Who knows? He does make one odd comment that bears repeating here.
There's crazy things happening down here. Monsters, demons, angels. But there's more. There's a secret.
Hanging in the shadows.
I just feel like I'm being watched. There's something more here.
Demons and angels are clearly references to Bendy
And
Bendy.
Alice.
So what is this other thing?
The
This thing
secret.
that's listening to him. How is he being watched? It seems very clear that his fears in this audio recording are actually setting up and connected to this new observing character. So who is this person? Well, in the aftermath of the teaser's release, some people online have speculated that it might be Bendy himself, learning to talk or something like that, but
That makes no sense because, well, it could be like we see perfect versions of every single character, except for Bendy. We only see the incomplete Bendy, which is the Ink Demon Bendy. But like, it makes no sense because for one, he probably would, if he existed, he would probably make himself known in Chapter 5 itself, and two, it couldn't be Ink Demon Bendy or something like that because we clearly seem to get rid of him in Chapter 5, and we literally never see him in Chapter 5 until the point where Henry falls through the planks below after the whole battle with Sammy Lawrence and the Lost Ones, whatnot. And he wouldn't just be watching Henry. He can physically teleport pretty much anywhere in the studio. Meaning, if he wanted to, he could have just warped himself into the cage or the cell that Cyborg and Allison were keeping him in, and killed Henry right then and there.
I would disagree with that conclusion. You see,
And stuff
on
like
the
that.
official Bendy Twitter account for the last 2 months, they've been tweeting out a letter a day leading up to this reveal. If you put those letters together, like a grand old game of Wheel of Fortune, we get ourselves this message. Benevolent demon, Someone has reawakened the dark. The fact
Ah.
that this phrase is being directed at Bendy and references someone else doing this reawakening
I was wondering about that because I had been following the Twitter page.
indicates that Bendy probably isn't the one in question here.
Yeah.
Taking it another step further, the phrase benevolent demon seems to be coming from Sammy Lawrence. He's the only one who not only sees Bendy as a force for good, but also speaks in this sort of biblical heightened language.
For our Lord is calling to us, my little sheep. The time of sacrifice is at hand.
However, think back to the first game. Over the course of
First
Henry's
chapter.
story, we see Sammy go from being a devotee of Bendy
But the believers must honor their Savior.
to being completely disillusioned with Bendy.
Yeah. Not believing him anymore. In him
Which,
anymore.
can you blame the guy? I mean, he just keeps getting killed at the hands of the god that he was just making.
Yeah, I mean, he says, "Hey, Bendy, come, claim the tender sheep, make me free," and then, without a second thought, Bendy just kills him.
Sacrifices too. So the fact that he's back to calling Bendy a benevolent demon seems to indicate that this actually might be a Sammy from an earlier part of the timeline, or should I say an earlier part of the story.
Maybe we'll play as Sammy. Maybe we'll know Sammy's story. That'd be interesting. Because, to be honest, he's a character who we see multiple times. Who is a really, really big part to the story. But we never get to learn really anything about him. At all.
A time before he gets fed up with Lord Bendy ignoring his sacrifices of candles and bowls of soup. Also notice in this phrase that he's using the word reawakened the dark, which would imply that the dark has been awake before. If the dark is in fact ink, then the ink machine is probably coming to life again after years of being turned off. Lastly, let's talk about this final shot of the teaser, the one that bludgeoned me to death at the top of this episode.
Oh! I didn't even realize that. Yeah, I remember that. I tried slowing it down, but I never realized who it is. But it was really interesting to me.
The jump scare here definitely goes quickly, but if you slow it down and you brighten it up a little bit, the figure actually takes the shape of the Piper, one of the members of the Butcher
I was
Gang.
kind of
Notice
thinking
the
it was
ear,
one of the Butcher Gang
hairline, that
members.
elongated face
But I
right
wasn't
there.
sure.
Now, the Butcher Gang, to me, might be one of the most interesting unsolved mysteries from the original game.
That's true also. Because we do see them multiple times as well, but we never learn anything about them either. Yet we see them anywhere. Also being tortured and hung in the room along with all those Boris clones. Swarms of them coming after you just before you go get the ink hearts from the projectionist. They're basically everywhere.
I mean, they're treated just like a normal enemy spawn, but stop and actually look at these guys. These creatures have clearly been twisted and tortured, their bodies mutilated and dismembered, and then reassembled together. Every other character in this game is either like an ink blob or some version of an existing cartoon character. But these three have been remixed in mutilated ways, with body parts that have been removed and added, and heads and ears swapped positions, mouths sewn shut. And again, well, this might just be noisy data, just some really cool, creepy designs for these characters. I don't think that's the case. There is clearly a backstory to these three particular characters, and that's proven by looking at the design of the Fisher. See that? He says right on his belt,
Liar.
a sign that is written in and branded in that he's a liar. That's not a fashion accessory that you're walking around with there, friend. Clearly,
Most
this
definitely.
isn't just an imperfection of the ink process. They're being punished for something that they did when they were human. And let's be clear, even though they do spawn a bunch of times throughout the game, they were human at one point.
Exactly.
Or at least a
Just about every single one. Some of them are human, but some of them are not. Because I'm pretty sure some of them actually melt away when you kill them, but some of them, I'm pretty sure, still remain even after they're defeated.
set of them were. Well, yes, many of them do melt back into the ink when they're beaten. Many of them don't, as evidenced by Alice
Yeah.
Angel's little morgue here in Chapter 3. These guys are dead, but their bodies have remained intact, which means that at one point in time, they did in fact possess a human soul. The other interesting thing about the Butcher Gang being the big climax of this teaser trailer is that they're on the side of Bendy. Think back to Chapter 3 one more time. One
That
of
is
the
true.
tasks that Alice Angel gives us is defending her against an attacking onslaught of Butcher Gang members. That battle of allegiances is further supported by that chapter's ending. Remember, this was the one and only part of the original game that had an actual decision.
That is true. That's true. It's the only thing that impacted what some things that happened. You could either go the demon path or the angel path. It's not like you could have explored both. After you choose one path, you can't go into the other.
Point involved. You could either go the demon route or the angel route. It literally changed nothing about how the chapter played out except for the final image that you were shown at the end of the chapter. With the demon route showing you a particularly interesting one. It showed you Bendy leading the charge of an army of searchers and Butcher Gang members. They're aligned. They are on the same team. And so now let's look back at this new game's teaser one more time and how it mentions choice. It specifically says that we can
Walk with angels or cower before demons.
cower before demons or walk with angels. Ladies and
Meaning, you either take the side of the angel and work alongside them, as you were doing in Chapter 3 with Susie Cambo, aka Imperfect Alice. Or you could stay afraid and keep under the influence of the demon. Scared, doing their worship, which is possibly what happened to Sammy. Maybe he worships Bendy because he's scared of him. That's just a thought I had.
gentlemen, we are picking sides. So putting all of this evidence together, here is my prediction.
Friggin' Splatfest.
Whoever this observer is, he's reactivating the ink machine. Probably the one that's currently laying dormant in Joey Drew's house. In doing so, it has the potential to change the course of Henry's story. This isn't a prequel or a sequel, it's yet another iteration of that gameplay loop. The 414th iteration of that loop, except this time, things might change.
Things change
Hard
this time.
decisions based on who we decide to align with, the path of the demon or the path of the angel. And that in turn will dictate how this whole loop plays out. And along the way, hopefully, we learn just a little bit more about these Butcher Gang members. Who knows?
And everything
Maybe we'll learn
else.
who that Tommy gun belonged to. And perhaps, in the end, we'll finally be able to escape the ink reels once and for all. But hey, that's just a theory. A
Game theory.
Thanks for watching. Me disappear into a puddle of ink. Make it happen, editors.
Oh my god.
Did I do it?
They had to do it though, didn't they? That was a very interesting series. That might be one of the most interesting ones I've heard about, because I've seen quite a lot of different opinions and predictions of what's gonna happen with it, but I don't think I've ever seen one that takes like the whole choice thing and taking information of choice in the first game and applying it to this teaser. But we're just gonna have to find out later on this year when the first chapter comes out. But for now, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, or if you agree with what Matt Pat thinks and whatnot. And of course, make sure you smash that like button. Possibly just subscribe. Just need a bit more to get to that 100 subscriber milestone. And I'll see you guys next time.